Scootabuse by Conquer Master. Rated T. Scootaloo's eyes slowly opened, gradually getting used to the level of light in the room, which was next to nothing. Scootaloo looked around for a possible source of light. After a few seconds of looking, she saw a small speck of light that looked like it was down a very long hallway. "Yes!" she shouted. "I'm safe!" As she sprung up, her head hit a hard metal pipe, forcing her to slam on the floor. She screamed out in agony as she felt her warm blood fall down her mane and to her flank. No sooner later did the whole room fill her eyes with light. She squinted so the aperture of her pupils could recede. "What's going on?" she asked weakly through her pain. "You'll find out soon enough," said a voice from nowhere. Scootaloo frantically looked around to see where the voice came from. She had heard that voice before, but she couldn't remember where. It's as if her injury wiped some of her memory, and it very well might have. "I'm not afraid of you," Scootaloo shouted into the open. "Show yourself!" "Very well," said the voice again. No sooner did an adult pony walk out in front of the young Pegasus. He or she was wearing a dark hood, covering his or her mane and face. "Scootaloo, your time has come," said the shady figure. "How do you know my name?" the filly shouted at the figure. "Show yourself!" "Turn around," the pony said in response to Scootaloo's orders. "Now!" Scootaloo shouted. "I said turn around." "I won't!" "Don't get on my nerves. Now turn around." "I will never turn around." The figure then sighed. "You made me do this," said the figure. Then this mysterious pony took out a long knife, easily 10 inches. Then, without warning, he or she pushed the blade into Scootaloo's wings. Scootaloo hollered at the top of her lungs from the intense pain, and with one swift motion, her right wing was completely torn off. Tears of agony started pouring out of her eyes, still screaming. The other pony held the severed wing in front of her, causing it to hyperventilate. "If Rainbow Dash were here, she'd beat you up for doing this to me," Scootaloo shouted through her crying and yelling. Then, in another swift motion, the other pony stuffed Scootaloo's wing in her mouth. "If you don't chew and swallow that, I'll cut out your tongue," shouted the other pony. In an instant reflex, Scootaloo spit out her wing, causing the other pony to shout again. "Eat it! Now!" Scootaloo shouted. "Well, you know what happens." The other pony grabbed a smaller knife, maybe 6 of 7 inches, and stuck it in Scootaloo's mouth. Then, before slicing the filly's tongue, she took off the hood she was wearing, revealing a sky blue coat and a rainbow-colored mane. "Rainbow Dash!" Scootaloo shouted, forgetting the blade was in her mouth. She silently screamed as she felt blood fill her mouth from the newly opened gash on her tongue. Scootaloo then started crying, not from pain, nor from anger, but from sadness. Pure sadness. She couldn't believe that her idol would do such horrible stuff to her. "I'm sorry, Scoot," Rainbow said before driving the blade through her mouth from cheek to cheek. Scootaloo then passed out from pain. Rainbow then took the knife out of the now dead filly's mouth and used it to slice off her other wing. The feeling of digging the knife through flesh and bone felt sickening to Rainbow, but at the same time was strangely satisfying. After the left wing was cut off, Rainbow scooped the blood that was on the floor and put it on her mouth. She relished the taste for a couple of minutes and then spit it out on the remains of Scootaloo. Rainbow then looked at the body and shed a single tear. "It's better this way," she said before galloping out of the room, leaving the dead Pegasus behind. Well, that is very complete. I do think that was very well wrapped up. I think I think that Scootabuse is Scootabusage. Scootabusage. Gary Scootabusey. Oh, God. So, Conquer Master, thank you for this. Thank you.